Good afternoon, and I am hoping this video works out because yesterday I tried to do one and my phone told me that my memory was too full and cut my video off. And I hate when that happens. So I had to go through and delete like a lot of pictures. Which here recently I have been posting a lot of books online, so I was able, to delete a lot of stuff that I didn't need on my phone. But I'm going to try to start with the idea that I had yesterday, the video I was trying to do yesterday. I've got a lot of different things going on, a lot of different ideas in my mind right now. It's been, I don't know, my mind's been running wild today with just so many ideas, and there's just a lot that's been happening. God's working and moving, and there's, we had 2 wonderful services yesterday at church, and just, things in my own life and in my reading and just learning and stuff like that. I've just got a lot of ideas going, but let me get started here. Let me ramble on a while and then finally get started. I don't know what I'm going to call this. Maybe by the end of it I'll have something figured out. Oh, it's little pit bull puppies. And they're in the road. Well, they're not puppies. They're little grown. They're cute. Well, anyway, yesterday I was like, I'm going to turn my show on while I'm cooking breakfast. Well, I had done my prayer journal, I done my reading, and then I decided, I was gonna turn the TV on while I was gonna turn the TV on and watch something while I cooked my breakfast. And normally I would watch TD Jakes, and I've not been doing that, here a lot lately, and I thought, your show is not going to do anything for you. It's not going to help you. It's more like a recreational, leisurely type thing. And I don't get a whole lot of time for that. I usually turn the TV on if I'm at my apartment just for noise. And I was like, let's turn on TD Jakes. Well, I turned on TD Jakes, and I clicked on, a video, and I don't even remember what it was called. But it was great, and it helped me. Like, he was talking about, if you don't have something in your spirit and you don't believe something in your spirit, it's not going to be a reality. And that's what God has given you. That's your passion. And if God hasn't given it to you, it's because He doesn't want you desiring something that is somebody else's. And I know I've mentioned that before about, the desires you have, the dreams that you have, it's God-given. God gives you that because it's yours. And I thought of something in my own life, and it's just like, I don't know, the stuff he was saying, it was just sparking memories for me, and just sparking, just so much, and it helped me. And I thought of something that had happened to me, and it's probably going to sound funny, but I can only speak, from my experience. So I'm going to share this. When I was 16, that Christmas, and I turned 16 right before Christmas, but that Christmas, my dad bought me a 76 Ford pickup, and I loved it. It was dark blue, like my truck I got now, but it was a 76. I believe it had a 351 Windsor in it, and my dad claimed the engine. He was like, we're going to take the engine out of it and put you something else in it, of course, because that's what he ran in his race car, was a 351 Windsor. Well, I get this truck, and we're going to rebuild it. We're going to restore it or whatever. It had like the flat, faded out dark blue paint, in which I thought it was beautiful. Like, I was tickled plumb to death. But it was a 76 Ford pickup, F100, short bed. Oh my goodness, I was so excited. So I get this truck out in the yard, And I take everything out of it. I'm like, we're restoring this, so I'm taking everything out. And I'd helped my dad take stuff apart a lot. When we worked in scrap metal and stuff, we would strip vehicles and haul them off. He would have me take off everything that we could possibly use, and we stockpiled parts. So I was real good at taking stuff apart. Pretty good anyway. But I get in there and I'm taking all this stuff off. I take the seat out of it. I take the wiring harness, everything. I take everything off of it. And the guy that sold it to him couldn't find the title. Ended up not getting a title. And that drove me nuts. So, because that was pretty well, my truck was useless. And Dad said, we'll buy you another one. So, check the mail here real fast. Try to. And it's empty. But he said, we'll buy you another one. Well, a little bit later found one. Another 76. This one was a long bed. But I was like the third owner. Well, I guess technically I never did own it. My dad did. But it had the 390 in it. Automatic, which my first one was automatic too, but I mean, a good truck, and I was excited, Well, I decided that I wanted to be like my dad. And he knew he could look at a bolt and tell you exactly which wrench it fit, would fit it, which socket, whatever. He could tell you the tools you needed to do something. And at that time, I didn't think about it, but this came from experience. He worked on stuff all the time from the time he was little. Starting out with like bicycles, and he went to lawnmowers and just kept going like he was a shade tree mechanic. And I helped him, and I wanted to be like my dad. I wanted to know how to do all this stuff. So I decided that that's what I was going to do. I was going to open a garage. I was going to own my own garage. So I went to college, and the college that was closest to me, well, that had anything like that, they didn't have, shop or nothing. Like, we didn't have shop in high school, to work on stuff, auto stuff. So the closest thing I could get was diesel tech, working on diesels. Well, my dad knew how to do that too. He had drove a truck some. He owned heavy equipment. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do diesel tech. So I went to college for 2 years, and I got certified in diesel tech. By the end of the course, I'd lost interest, and I realized what I had done. And I don't regret my time there at all. Like, I learned a lot. I made amazing friends, just had, a lot of fun. And I realized that I wanted to be like my dad, and I was chasing after my dad, but that wasn't God's purpose for me. Okay, here recently, God's worked things out to where I'm doing my writing in my bookstore full time. And I'm overwhelmed. And I'm happy. Like, I love it. And it's like it don't matter, that I'm tired or I'm worn out or how many boxes of books that I have to tote or whatever. I'm happy. And I'm pouring into it. I'm giving all of myself into it because I love it and it's my passion, and that's what God's put in me. And it don't make sense for how I grew up. It don't make sense of I was a tomboy and worked on cars with my dad or race cars or whatever, want to be around trucks, love big trucks. The love of my life drives a truck. My background and all the stuff I'm interested in don't make sense with my passion. And it may not connect and it may not make sense to anybody else. And it's definitely not something that I've had support from everybody else in. But it's my passion and it's what God's given me. It's my purpose. And when you are following that passion, that God-given desire and passion, you're going to be your best. You're going to help people. You're going to do what God's created you to do, and you're going to meet your purpose. And I guess that's the thought today, and that's why that's formed in me, that ideas just kept going and going, is because maybe you need to be reminded that you need to do what you're passionate about. And don't make excuses. We make excuses. I make excuses. And usually my excuses are, well, I don't have the money or I don't have the time. And that comes from fear. All the excuses that we make come from fear. Okay? But if you just shut that off, shut that out, and just take a step out and try and start at the bottom. Some of us, that's what we have to do, is start at the bottom. Okay? Start at the bottom and make baby steps, because I'm telling you right now, where I'm at, I've been trying to get to for so long. And yes, it's a struggle. And yes, I'm like, how in the world am I going to do this? How's this going to work? But I know God's going to provide. And I'm happy. And I'm overwhelmed because I'm like, I've been wanting to get here. How am I here? And that's the thing. I saw something today. Steps turn into miles. And that's the thing. You have to get started. You have to take a step. Do what makes you happy. Follow your passion and pour into it. Stop pouring into everything that is draining you, that is killing you, that dead-end job, whatever. Pour in to what's going to pour into you. And when it's your passion and you love it, it pours back into you. And it's overwhelming and it's amazing. So that's my thought for today, and I really hope that helped you. And I love you guys. I'll be praying for you. Please be praying for me, and I'm excited to see what God's going to do today. I'm excited for what He's been doing, how He's been blessing. If you're seeing this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe, pages, like, share, comment, tag people, whatever you want to do. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you later.